The crypto markets have been looking pretty bleak lately. A lot of people thinking that the bull run is over, but there is some good news coming up that could turn this thing around. So hit that like button and let's jump into it. All right, we're going to take a look at some things going on in the crypto markets here that could potentially turn this market around and swing it towards the positive. We've been down quite a bit over the last few months and some big dumps, especially with the altcoins. A little bit of a correction with Bitcoin, but that was kind of expected to have a pullback at some point, and the pullback we've had so far has been pretty reasonable. Let's take a look at it here. So the total crypto market cap currently at 2.9 trillion and Bitcoin at 86,000 as of this recording. It did dump down to like 79,000 recently here, having a little bit of a recovery, and I'm expecting maybe a bit of a further recovery before we could potentially have another correction, but I don't think that the bull run is over. I think we got some good news coming up here that could spark the bull run and actually make things very bullish for crypto over the course of this year and really turn this year around and potentially to be one of the best years in crypto for the United States especially. So let's take a look at some things here. So the total crypto market cap, like I said, was 2.9 trillion, but right back here in December it was at 3.9 trillion, so we've lost a trillion in market cap for total crypto market cap. That is like 25% of the total crypto market cap gone, a whole $1 trillion completely gone over the course of the last couple months. This is pretty painful to deal with, especially if you're in altcoins and microcaps especially. They've been bleeding really hard to Bitcoin, and I've just been slowly adding more to my portfolio when I can afford to, but with the with tax season and all that going on right now, I haven't been able to really buy the dip, and I'm hoping to be able to add some to my portfolio. But either way, my bags are packed pretty much for this bull run, and if we get a good alt season later on this year, things could potentially turn around here quickly, but I'm not expecting a big turnaround until the end of the year with how things are looking right now. But there is some really bullish news coming up here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and what it's done. So we did get up to like $109,000 with Bitcoin recently here. That's kind of like a double top, and then we've corrected down. We got all the way down to like I think 78, almost 79,000 here just recently, and we're starting to have a little bit of a recovery here if we take a look at this now. It's very possible that we do a move kind of like we did earlier, where we come up maybe to that $100,000 mark, or even maybe to 90,000, and then we get rejected back down. We'll have to see, but it wouldn't surprise me if we go up to 100,000 again and get rejected. If you look here back last year in March of 2024, we got all the way up to 74,000. Then we had a pullback all the way down to 56,000. A lot of people probably thought that we weren't going to have a very big move up again after that. People were thinking we're going to go down to $40,000, but we didn't. We held that level, and then we shot all the way back up to 72,000 here. And then we came all the way back down again to 52,000, almost 53,000 here. Then we shot all the way back up to 70,000 again and dropped all the way down to 48,000. Really painful move. So you can see these big swings. This is from 70,000 all the way down to 48,000. That's $22,000 move with Bitcoin. So what we're seeing right now here is not out of the ordinary. To go all the way up to 109,000, to correct down to 79,000. That it's like a $30,000 move with Bitcoin. That's not out of the ordinary for that to happen, but I wouldn't expect us to really until we break up above 110,000 level for us to make another leg up with Bitcoin. And there is a possibility that we're in the middle of the bull run cycle here, where we don't break through here and make much of a new all-time high, or if we do, it's very slightly over this all-time high of 109,000. Maybe we only get to 110 or 115 or 120,000, and then the bull run's over. I know there are some charts out there predicting Bitcoin to get to somewhere between like 167,000 all the way up to $250,000 or more this bull run. Plan B is thinking that Bitcoin will get at a minimum of 250,000 all the way up to 500,000 or more, but I don't think that that's too realistic. If you look at how things are going right now, things have not been bullish at all for crypto, and I would not expect no 200 or 250,000 $100,000 Bitcoin this cycle. I do think that possibility for it to get up to 170,000 is there, but I would think that that's probably going to be all that we get this cycle, unless something really crazy happens and we get some really big liquidity flowing into the cycle and some really bullish things with crypto. We do have some very bullish things coming into crypto here that I want to show you here in just a second, but I do want to share with you the possibility of where we could be at in the cycle. And people in my Discord were talking about this, and I kind of agree that this is potentially where we're at in the cycle, even potentially likely where we're at in the cycle. So if we look at this Wall Street cheat sheet cycle here, maybe we've already had a little bit of thrill and euphoria, even though it doesn't feel like we've really had. I think we did have a little bit of thrill maybe in November and December, but I don't really think we hit the euphoria stage. I really don't think that, but you know, it's possible. You know, there was all this meme coin hype and stuff that was going on, and you know, that kind of really took all the wind out of the sails of the market. And we had a bunch of scams going out there with crypto and meme coins and stuff. So a lot of pump and dumps going on, and pump.fun scams and stuff like that. So we could be in this part of the cycle here where we're coming back down for a big correction, and then we come up for one more big high, and maybe a new all-time high, maybe not, and then the market is over. So we really got to be careful, and this may not happen until towards the end of this year. That would be kind of when I'm expecting it to happen, but it is possible that things turn around and turn bullish here, and that we're earlier on in the phase of the cycle. Right now I'm thinking maybe we're halfway through the top of the bull run potentially, but I could be completely wrong on that. I just want to be cautious and not people think that we're way down in here or in here, and that we're going to keep going higher into, you know, $200,000 Bitcoin, and it doesn't happen. So just be really careful, and I would be extremely cautious. And if we do turn bullish, to make sure you're taking your profits out early, just in case things dump and it's over with. So be careful of that. If we take a look back at the chart here for Bitcoin, you know, basically last cycle, this is where we ended up in the beginning of 2021 after the halving. Then we had a big crash down, and then we went up and made another double top towards the end of the year. This could be this move that we're making now, and then we come up for another high, and then the cycle's over. So we need to be careful of that. You know, it's starting to look very similar to this right here potentially. Now, it is possible that we're at this point here. This is another possibility, and this would be January of 2021, and then, you know, maybe we're a month behind, and this is like, you know, February of 2025. Maybe we're just a month later that this is happening, and maybe we make these big moves up here, you know, going into the later part of this year. It's really, you know, really don't know until the cycle's over where we're at. So we just need to be careful and make sure that, you know, if we do start moving up, you know, let's say this is where we're at, we really need to start taking out profits on the way up here, and just be careful. And if we are here and we do take profits out, you know, on the way up, there's nothing really wrong with that either. So either way, we should be taking our profits out on the way up, and just be careful, because it's looking really like, you know, this could be the first top in the cycle. Sure, we may come all the way up to here. Like, we're thinking we could get up to $160,000, $170,000 Bitcoin, and this would be our top, but we don't know. You know, so we just need to be careful of that. This could have been the first top, and then we're making a move down for a breather. Then we make another top, and it's over. That's just what we need to be careful of. But let's get on to some more bullish news on what could turn this thing around here. So Trump will host a crypto summit at the White House on March 7th. So that's coming up here just a few days, the crypto summit at the White House. So let's take a look at this here. This is extremely bullish for crypto, and this is going to be really, really positive for crypto, and could potentially turn things around depending on what's announced at this summit, and depending on what kind of crypto regulation we get. Maybe they're going to make it so there's no tax on crypto gains, or low tax on crypto gains, and they want to make US the crypto capital of the world. One way to do that would be to make very low taxes or no taxes on crypto. I would assume that there's going to be some tax on crypto, but maybe it's going to be a lot lower than your standard capital gains tax. Maybe we only get taxed at 10 or 15%. Maybe we'll cross our fingers on that. That would be really bullish if something like that happens. But this says here, Trump will deliver remarks at the gathering that will include prominent founders, CEOs, and investors from the crypto industry, as well as members of the President's Working Group on Digital Assets, the White House said in a statement on Friday night. The summit will be led by venture capitalist and White House crypto czar David Sachs, and will be administered by Working Group Executive Director Bo Hines, according to the statement. Shortly after taking office, the President signed an executive order to create the working group from the key agencies that would advise the White House on digital asset policy and evaluate the creation of a potential crypto stockpile. stockpile. So hopefully we do get that Bitcoin stockpile. I think that'll happen. I think that will happen with this administration. The working group includes the Treasury and Justice Departments, as well as the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. And as you guys know, during the presidential campaign, President Trump said that he wanted to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. So hopefully they are able to do this, and anything that they need approval from Congress. We do have a more pro-crypto Congress in place now, so hopefully those things get passed. We had a pretty decent crypto bill that was pushed through last year, and it was almost approved, but it wasn't quite approved. I think it got vetoed by Biden, if I remember correctly. So Trump would not approve a pro-crypto bill. So there is the likelihood, even under the Biden administration, we had some pretty decent crypto bills being introduced, that we get even better legislation introduced now, and hopefully that gets approved by Congress, and hopefully I'm sure Trump will sign off on it if it gets approved by Congress. So we'll have to see what's coming. And of course, after I originally recorded this, the news about the crypto reserve coming out from Donald Trump has made the crypto markets pump. So we're going to jump into that real quick here. As I said, I was expecting this crypto reserve to happen at some point, and it looks like it's going to. So let's take a look. So with this news about the crypto reserve, Bitcoin pumped like up to 96,000, Ethereum over 2,500, XRP had a 34% pump, and Solana had a 24% pump, and then Cardano had a 73% pump. Let's take a look at the message from Donald Trump on Truth Social. A U.S. crypto reserve will elevate this critical industry after years of corrupt attacks by the Biden administration, which is why my executive order on digital assets directed the presidential working group to move forward on a crypto strategic reserve that includes XRP, Solana, and ADA. And as you guys know, a lot of people are worried. They're like, well, he didn't mention Bitcoin or Ethereum as well. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. But he said, I will make sure the U.S. is the crypto capital of the world. We are making America great again. So he did do a follow-up post on this. Let's take a look at that. And obviously BTC and ETH, he said, as other valuable cryptocurrencies, will be the heart of the reserve. I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. So like I said, I would expect that crypto strategic reserve to happen at some point. And he's confirming here, it's difficult with crypto. Anything can change with just a matter of, a few minutes. So I wanted to include this message in this video because it is important to the video's message here, that I think some things could quickly turn around the crypto markets. As you can see, things can flip around really fast. Now, the question is, are we going to keep going up from here? I wouldn't necessarily think so. At some point, I would think that we're having just exciting news about these announcements of these cryptos into the strategic reserve. People are buying based on FOMO. I would expect some kind of pullback again. And really, until we get this liquidity in the market from quantitative easing, I'm not expecting too much, but we'll see what happens here. It is possible that we keep going up from here, but I would not count on that. So just be careful buying on FOMO and news like this, because you can really get hurt doing that. So we'll jump into the Bitcoin monthly returns chart here real quick. Just take a look at this here. February was the worst crypto month since February of 2014 as far as February's go. There's only been 3. This is only the 3rd red month in February. So last time in 2020, it was followed by another red month in March. It was even deeper than the month prior. And if you look in 2014, it was also followed by a red March and a slightly red April. So there is a possibility that we have a couple more months of red here before we get some green. So we'll have to see what happens here. But we did have a really green May in 2014, a 40% move. And then if we look at 2020 here, after we had a couple red months with Bitcoin, for February and March, we had a 34% move up. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we get some really bullish moves here with Bitcoin over the course of the few months, but we could have another red month in March here potentially. We'll have to see how this month plays out, but like I said, the pain might not be over yet. So hopefully we get some really good legislation in place, and hopefully they start making some really bullish things for crypto, where once we do get the liquidity injected into the cycle and hopefully interest rates get lowered later this year, that it's a perfect storm for a really good bull run to follow with that. But that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in today's video, guys. I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we'll see you on the next video.